Inside Meta's headquarters, a small group of engineers is quietly building a project so sensitive that most of the company doesn't even know it exists. They call it Arena, and the plan is to drop it onto the phones of 3.5 billion people. When the New York Times published a leak detailing exactly what this app does, the market reacted instantly. Within hours of the news breaking, multiple billion-dollar tech and gaming companies watched their stock prices drop. Mark Zuckerberg is building an engine to turn every trending topic on the internet, from celebrity scandals and football games to election results, into a wagerable market. Meta is preparing to hand a global, gamified financial platform to half the planet's population, all at exactly the same time. To understand why a social media company wants to build a betting app, look at what they just walked away from. In 2021, Meta committed tens of billions of dollars a year to force mainstream adoption of virtual reality. This chart tracks that investment against the actual user base inside their flagship VR platform, Horizon Worlds. The user numbers collapsed while the total metaverse spend pushed toward $90 billion. Wall Street investors started asking where their return was going to come from. Faced with those losses, Zuckerberg stopped trying to invent the future and looked at what was already working for someone else. In this case, that was prediction markets. Platforms like Polymarket and Kalshi saw their trading volume blow past $130 billion this year alone. Arena is a calculated corporate pivot. Meta needs to recoup historic financial losses, and hijacking an explosive market is the fastest way to do it. Prediction markets allow users to wager on the outcomes of real-world events. You bet on whether a movie will flop or if a central bank will cut interest rates. The demand for these platforms has surged. When this story leaked, a rumor spread that Arena would be scanning your private WhatsApp chats to generate bets. Internal reports confirm that is false. Arena is being built as a completely standalone application, deliberately walled off from Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. But Meta will use those core apps as a massive traffic funnel. With 3.5 billion people opening a Meta product every single day, the company only needs to point a fraction of those users toward Arena to establish a massive audience. No other prediction market has that kind of pipeline. Meta can bypass the years it normally takes to build an active user base and establish global dominance essentially overnight. The way those bets are created is where the engineering gets complex. Meta isn't hiring humans to write the odds. Instead, they plan to use their own large language model, Llama, to automate the entire process. As soon as a news event or rumor starts trending, the AI identifies it, formats it into a prediction question, and calculates the baseline odds. To avoid immediate gambling regulations, sources report Arena will launch using a closed point system rather than real money. It will feel like a video game score. But insiders note this is merely the first step, keeping the door open for real currency later. By combining their AI with their user base, Meta has built a fully automated engine that turns the daily news cycle into a global scoreboard. This chart projects the total volume of the prediction market industry over the next few years. Wealth management firms like Bernstein estimate this space could grow into a distinct asset class worth over $1 trillion by 2030. Traditional sports betting companies are watching this growth with serious concern. Giants like DraftKings and FanDuel are already scrambling to launch their own prediction markets so they don't lose their core customers to these new platforms. The rush for market share is pulling in completely unconventional players, too. Even Trump Media and Technology Group has announced its intention to launch a proprietary prediction platform. Everyone is racing to secure a piece of this emerging financial sector. But Meta's entry into this space threatens to instantly absorb that market share and consolidate it under one roof. Investors immediately recognize the threat Meta poses to existing platforms. The moment Arena was leaked, shares in retail trading apps like Robinhood took a hit. Politicians reacted just as quickly. Senator Richard Blumenthal publicly criticized the project, arguing that Meta is taking the same algorithmic design mechanics it uses to keep users scrolling and applying them to build an active gambling audience. The broader prediction market industry is already facing heavy legal scrutiny. Federal investigators are currently looking into massive payouts tied to alleged insider trading, including a case where a U.S. Special Forces member was charged with using classified military intelligence to win bets on geopolitical events. Launching Arena means Meta is choosing to step directly into a complex regulatory minefield. But the potential for user engagement clearly outweighs the legal risks in their calculations. Mark Zuckerberg has a history of letting others take the initial risk. He watched Snapchat prove the value of the Stories format before rolling it out to billions of users. And now he is applying that same strategy of mass distribution to prediction markets. Arena also reflects a massive internal shift currently happening at Meta. The company is actively moving away from human curation and aggressively restructuring its product lines to rely almost entirely on automated AI systems. Which brings the question down to you. If a prediction app showed up on your phone tomorrow, generated by AI and tied to your existing social media accounts, would you actually use it to bet points on the news? Let me know in the comments if you think turning current events into a game is simply the next logical step for the internet, or if it crosses a line into algorithmic addiction.